Lakshmi ma'am, good evening ma'am. Thank you so much for joining. Nagakala ma'am, good
Good
evening.
evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, good evening. How is your health ma'am, Lakshmi ma'am? I hope you are doing well. Better, I believe. Nagakala ma'am, good evening. Thank you so much for joining.
Sir, we are on live now. I will paste the link in the chat box.
Oh, right, right. Wonderful, wonderful. Please ma'am, very kind of you ma'am. Thank you ma'am.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Ma'am, doing well ma'am. Thank you ma'am. Nagakala ma'am, thanks for joining. Lakshmi ma'am also has joined.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. How are you, sir?
Doing well ma'am. Thank you. And take care of your health ma'am. And
Actually, I'm traveling.
oh, right, right. Sometime, no, you speak to that Pakistani speaker, ma'am, so that we will have the session, ma'am. Sometime you talk to that professor, so that it will be. Already, we have sent a mail. Only thing is, we need to do the follow up. I believe.
Who, sir?
Okay, now,
Okay.
madam.
Yeah, we'll check with her.
Hearty welcome to you, sir. Thanks for joining, sir.
Well, thanks a lot, sir.
And thank you, sir. Shall we start, sir?
Yes.
Good
Yes,
evening.
we can.
Thanks for joining.
Good evening, sir. Good
Happy
evening, sir. Harish, sir, good evening.
Well, good evening, sir.
Hearty welcome to both of you, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
So, yeah. Good evening, everybody. It gives me immense pleasure in welcoming you all for this 175th International Virtual Faculty Development Program conducted by World English Language Learners, Teachers and Trainers Association, shortly we call it WELTA. And I am extremely happy to welcome you all for this 175th program, and it's indeed my proud privilege to extend a hearty welcome to you all. And today we have amidst us Professor Dr. Harish Chandra sir of Amrita University, Coimbatore, and who was graciously consented to be today's presenter for this first session of this faculty development program. As well as we have our Madurai counterpart, and Madam has agreed to do this second session today, and we are so very happy and excited to extend a hearty welcome to both of you, sir. And Krishna Priya, madam, she is an assistant professor of English from Tyagaraja College, Madurai. Madam has graciously consented to be the second presenter. And I must apologize for pushing Harish Chandra sir to this first session, because normally we used to have the second session by him. Today, for madam's convenience sake, we have pushed this session to the first. Sir, sincerely, we regret for that thing. Anyhow, thanks for your acceptance and gracing this occasion. And moving ahead, I would like to request Vidya Sri to welcome the gathering for this 175th Faculty Development Program conducted by Velta Forum. Over to Vidya Sri.
Good evening, everybody. It gives me immense pleasure welcoming you all for this 175th International FDP conducted by World Linguistics Association Malta. Thank you all for joining us. Happy learning to all of you.
Thank you, Vidya Sri, for your nice words. And again, moving ahead, we have our Harishchandra sir. I would like to present Harishchandra sir to this Velta Forum. Dr. Harishchandra sir is a seasoned researcher and an amazing human being and down-to-earth personality. Always, very approachable and again friendly and accommodative. Ready to share his knowledge and expertise with the others. That is what has resulted in a strong bond between us. And again, we could witness that he has been rendering this unconditional support and extraordinary service to this Velta Forum by giving presentations every week on Thursday one session and Sunday one session. So such a very genuine and interesting human being, and I take immense pleasure in this Velta Forum. And he has got a very rich experience, and again he has got corporate as well as industry as well as this institution exposure as well as experience, and he has published widely in Scopus and non-Scopus journals. And again, it is indeed our proud privilege to extend a hearty welcome to you, sir. And thank you so much for gracing this occasion. And again, I am handing over the session to you, sir. Hearty congratulations once again on all these elite and learned colleagues as well as on the Velta Forum's behalf and my own personal behalf. I extend once again a hearty welcome as well as hearty congratulations to you, sir. Thank you, sir. Over to you, sir, for your
Okay.
session.
Okay, sir. Thanks a lot for the detailed introduction, sir. And like it was my privilege also to be a first speaker on 175th session. Thanks for the opportunity.
Feel very
And
much humbled.
yes, no problem. And with respect to publications and patents, I hope all people have listened to my lectures already. So I'll be covering a brief of my previous lectures, and then I'll be moving ahead with certain points which I might not have discussed in my previous lectures. So, as I have discussed already about how to publish a Scopus paper and what are all the requirements to get a design patent, and if we found some new GI tag for our place, how to go about filing, and those points were discussed. And the key difference between filing a patent and writing a publication is the level of novelty. In a publication, it is accepted to have only 50% of novelty, but in patent, at least in your area, you should have a minimum of 80 to 90% novelty. Why I put the word 80 to 90% is there are some minor things which are not required actually. Suppose if you have performed a particular type of synthesis by a different process which others have not performed, that is also novelty. For the same compound also, it's considered as novelty only. Nobody is going to say like it is the same compound and only the process cannot be granted. It also can be granted. And the next concept which I would like to discuss in detail about the preprint press. I hope everybody here know about the preprint press, biopsy reviews. Somaya sir?
Sir, of course, sir.
Yeah, fine. Because okay, fine.
No, maybe I think we can have one small briefing about what is it to the other people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
that's the idea, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, true. Okay, because in preprint reviews, what happens is, like, suppose if you have found a novel result and you don't know how to structure your particular result to the publisher's point. So in that case, you can publish your novel result in the preprint press. So the preprint press will give you an advantage towards publishing it in a journal in future, and you will get a lot of acknowledgement from the preprint press that you can even quote in your journal by redefining and restructuring the work. I know many of my friends who published their novel result in preprint press have further published their works in very high impact journals. So preprint plus play a major role now, and one is bioxy reviews, and one more preprint press which I know is biopress, and there are a lot of preprint presses now to accept all kind of articles.
Sir,
And
one more famous thing is this research gate.
sir, ResearchGate, is it considered as preprint press, sir?
That's what
They
I'm
have
saying.
yeah, they have an option for preprint,
Correct.
but some journals won't consider ResearchGate preprint, as far as I know. But bioxy reviews and biopress
No,
they
because
consider.
from my opinion, most of the top publisher, that is IEEE, Springer, or all these things, they actually consider the ResearchGate preprint.
Oh, ResearchGate they consider. Okay, thanks for the information. Because
Because
since I
this is
publish,
based on my experience.
yeah, yeah, true, true. Because since I publish most of my works in Elsevier and that too on biocatalysis area, I'm not aware like the IEEE and Springer is also considering. Thanks for the information.
Yes.
Okay then. So as sir rightly said, even the ResearchGate preprint press also can be used. And people who working in language and social science, if you can give me some insights also, I'll be happy regarding the preprint press in your area, apart from the ones I've mentioned. You can even type in the chat box. And the major advantage of having a preprint prior to publishing a journal in high impact is it reduces your publication time, actually, because already you have a result and that is already structured. So much technicalities will not be there for the reviewer to undergo. He'll undergo only the basic technicalities apart from, because in preprint it doesn't mean that he's going to accept whatever you write. He also checks for a lot of novelty, but the time is pretty fast compared to others.
Sir, Hari sir, for all other sciences and
Yeah.
engineering, we also have something called PLOS.
Plus.
Yeah, so those people are actually they have a scientific manuscript which can be posted,
Yeah, yeah.
and they have their own DOI which can be used for citing for the
Okay.
linking it
But
with the
sir,
other publishers.
PLOS is a journal, no, sir, basically.
Huh?
Is it a preprint? Because it's a journal, right?
No, sir, it is a preprint.
It's a preprint. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Because we have PLOS journals also.
Let me put that particular link in the chat.
Okay, okay, fine.
But about the languages part, maybe I have not gone through the preprint publishers, but maybe the other experts in the group might help us.
Yeah, that's what. For that reason only, I have placed this question in an open forum. For language and social studies, no, I don't find much. For management, there is actually one. In ResearchGate also, a special topic is there for management. But for language and social studies and cultural related studies, I really don't know whether there is a special platform or in ResearchGate itself they have a forum.
Sir, but there is another kind of a pre-printing platform that is multidisciplinary. So which is like preprints.org. So they actually handle all the subjects,
Yeah,
even the arts
preprints.org.
and yeah,
Yeah. I
even
have
the
gone through
arts.
preprint,
Yeah.
but do the journals accept it from preprints.org?
No, sir, that's what I'm saying. So the social sciences or the management journals, they actually accept it. Even Willy
Okay.
actually accepts.
Oh, Wiley. Okay, fine. If Wiley accepts, then it's okay because Wiley is also indexed in Scopus and Web of Science.
Correct.
Okay, fine. If they accept it as
So this particular platform, they actually go with even arts and humanities, and then also I think behavioral science also.
hmm. Okay, fine. Okay, because we do behavioral genetic studies, I think that is slightly different from the basic behavioral science
No,
people
sir.
look at.
Behavioral sciences is coming up to this management perspective.
Okay, behavioral genetics is something different, right?
Yeah, yes, of course. Behavioral science is something related to psychological analysis.
Okay, fine.
So I think these are the few things which I know.
Yeah, true.
And even I will post this particular link also in the chat.
True. Okay, Soumya sir, thanks a lot for your inputs. And to continue further with respect to preprints, like the cases which I have observed is from preprint, it takes only 3 months actually to get
Sir,
published
Hari
in
sir,
a.
sorry to interrupt. Sir,
Yeah.
even in Springer, if I can remember, there is actually a preprint sharing option.
Yeah. That is for the additional data only, no, sir. Springer preprint. That I have done it. What they ask is you share your additional data alone,
No,
supplementary
sir.
files.
Even for primary research manuscript, they go for it.
Okay, fine.
So basically, if you are going for the open access publication, then you can
Yeah,
go with
because I
the
don't go for
preprint.
open access actually. True.
So preprint sharing by Springer, you can go for that.
Yes. In Elsevier also there is something called as additional data access. That will be printed in a separate
So
journal
that is
actually.
for actually
All the data.
metadata, sir.
Yes, metadata. Because that you will have a separate journal indexing itself for the metadata alone.
Correct. Maybe for the all the maybe if you are doing an experiment, so
Yes.
most of the appendix and experimental setup, all those things can be written there.
Yes. I have done that actually in Elsevier.
Yes, sir.
Okay then. So preprint press is one of the alternative ways to get your work published faster in a good impact journal, and you will get a lot of good comments from senior professors if you publish a preprint regarding the modifications required and the things to work out further. And I hope people are extensively using ResearchGate, right, for posting your queries and getting answers. Okay then. Any more queries with respect to preprint and related aspects of publications?
Ari sir, when you were talking about ResearchGate, I
Yes.
think that is an amazing platform for sharing your scientific work, and it directly gets connected with LinkedIn. So you have an API, separate API, where you can actually link it with your LinkedIn profile.
Yeah, that is possible. But what happens is for most of the queries you will get answers, but for some technical advanced queries, no, in ResearchGate, which I could not get it. But once I post it in a preprint, no, I used to get comments. That is possible in some cases.
Correct, sir.
But 90% you will get in ResearchGate. But for 10%, no, since I work on a very primitive area like micro RNA and long non-coding RNA based study, it is tough to find people because in the whole world, no, only 2 to 3% people work in those specific areas.
Exactly, sir. I think, sir, one more query by I think Dr. Lakshmi ma'am. She was saying, what about Elsevier?
Yeah, as Elsevier, I've discussed already. Like Springer, they don't have a separate pre-printing option. But in Elsevier, what you can do is, suppose if you have multiple supplementary data for the research work which you have done, each and every data can be a separate paper, a data paper, indexed by Elsevier. That is possible. But I think they charge extensively for that data.
Correct, sir. But I think most of the academic institutes, they actually, take care of those charges.
No. Very few institutes do it because in
Sir,
case
I
of
do not know, sir, because VAT is taking care.
No. VAT will take care.
No, I think
because
even IITs are taking care, sir.
No. VAT and IIT it's totally different actually, because in our institute what happens is, suppose if we are working on engineering, no, Coimbatore campus will give science direct access only for engineering, not for science. We need to request other people, science people in other campus to get the access.
Okay, this is
So
something very new.
Yeah, because Amrita is designed in such a way that specific campus is for specific domain, but that should not be. That's what we are fighting now. Let's see. Because Cochin campus they focus only on pharmacy, and Amritaburi campus in Kollam they focus only on basic science. Like that, it is designed.
Okay.
Okay, I think Q1 and Q2 journals I have discussed extensively. And one more thing to notice, now in December, Scopus has removed many journals. And even the journals which I have published in the previous years, they are yet to get approved in 2022. So before publishing your paper, it's better to check a minimum of 2-year validity. As I have discussed earlier, it takes a minimum of 6 to 7 months to get a paper published once you submit in a Scopus journal. So it's better to have a 2-year validity instead of 6 months or 1 year. Okay, any more queries? And then with respect to recent project openings, DST has some funding for establishing a teaching learning center. Very few universities, they have a teaching learning center. You can establish for specific domains. That funding is open now. And industry and institution collaboration funding is also open. And all other related SERB funding is open. So people who want to apply for a project and get funding can look at those websites and start working on it. And the funding which I am working on is for ICMR now. That too, the major focus is climate change as well as the vector-borne diseases for ICMR funding. And even some of the people in the forum has also asked many queries to me, and jointly also we are working. In that case, thanks to Saravanan sir. Saravanan sir?
Yes, sir, I am with you, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, and actually, one person from this forum, sir, they asked a lot of doubts to me regarding this ICMR funding and extensively working with me.
Great, sir. Great, sir.
Thanks for the information.
Credit goes to you only, sir, because you have been enlightening people, so people are getting enlightened. and again
That's what. And many people in the forum also, they share DST DBT's latest proposals in the group.
Hari sir, I have shared one more collaboration which was latest in the chat box. It is like the Indo-German Science and Technology Center.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they
fine.
have, so they have a call for
Yeah, because I also gone through these proposals, but the major problem comes is like if you want to have a joint proposal with an abroad country, you need to have facility in such a way that it matches the abroad level in all disciplines, all laboratory facilities and all. Very few places in India you have very advanced equipments.
No, sir. I think when we are going with this Indo-German, they actually the proposal is when we are working on the proposal, generally the professors from Germany, especially when I was interacting with some of the professors from Stuttgart University, so they were saying that most of the implementation or the experimentation of the work will be done in their own labs.
Yeah. No, the thing is that most of them will be done there, but even they call as basic, no? Certain work that also, like in India, very few institutes have the facility.
Correct.
Because what happens is, I don't know about other fields, in genomics, for them, even whole genome sequencing is basic, something they call. Only the advanced cell line study is the one they accept as advanced. But do you really think in India, all places we have whole genome sequencing facility?
I think in one place in Hyderabad, I think CCMB.
Yeah, CCMB they will have. That is designed only for molecular biology related studies.
Yeah.
But many places, what they have is they might have a basic transcriptome sequence for one particular read in the genome.
Correct, sir.
Because most of the PhD students use that only. They will look those criteria, how many students are using and.
And even there was another opening from DST, which was specifically for women's project.
Yes, I saw that.
Women's safety.
Yes, that is there. That also comes under that SERB portal only.
Correct, sir. Now, again, few of my colleagues, they were saying that, Shiva, we need your inputs for that women's safety project. Then I was saying, see, I am, but I cannot be directly working on that. I might give my inputs, but then, the PI or the co-PI, I think they are very, very specific that they have to be women.
Obvious.
Yeah. So that's what I said. I would be giving my inputs, no doubt, but then I cannot be the PI or the co-PI.
Yeah, that is not possible.
Yeah, correct.
Maybe some technical, because some projects you can.
No, but
have
they were asking
person.
whether they can put as advisor or something like that. But
No, that is tough.
Sure.
That is tough.
Yeah, correct.
You can share publications with them, that's not a problem, but not as a PI or co-PI in the project.
No, even for a research advisor in the project, I don't think so they can, put my name. That's what I said.
No, that is not possible at all.
Correct.
Because in these things, we only should be careful. At the end of the day,
sir,
problem
because,
comes.
since it is directly coming under this intergovernment scheme, that women Rakshak scheme.
Yes, true.
So they are very specific that the proposals are, all the people involved in that project have to be women.
True. And I think in VIT now, a lot of funded projects they got, right?
Yes, sir.
Actually, one of my...
mostly from the bioscience department.
Yes. Because when I was doing my UG in Satyabama, my professor was Dr. Rashekar sir. He moved to VIT and now he has around 15 projects.
Okay.
I know, Yes.
Kind of heard his name. Saravanan sir, any idea?
Hello, yes sir, yes sir.
Dr. Rajshekhar from Biosciences.
Oh,
Because there are so many Rajshekhar, so I'm just getting confused.
confused.
Yeah, yeah.
Same is here, sir. Same is here. Actually, that is the thing.
Uh,
So maybe we'll check and get back to you, sir.
No, no, no. Just telling. Because he took one semester for me when I was in my UG. Then he moved to VAT, and from the second day of VAT, he started getting a lot of projects.
Wow.
That time, bioinformatics was in booming stage actually.
Now people are getting projects every day, sir. That is the everyday happening at VAT.
Yeah, yeah, I know that.
so
Because,
they are more focusing on multidisciplinary research.
yeah, true. Even the government also gives funding to multidisciplinary works only.
Exactly, sir. So one of my yesterday we started working on DNA computing.
True.
So DNA computing, how we can optimize the storage of data in DNA.
Yes, yes.
So that is one of the work.
Yeah, some group in Amrita is also working on that.
Oh,
And that's a part of the center actually.
okay.
We got a DBT center
Hmm.
in Amrita for computational engineering and networking, and we do a lot of reinforcement learning, machine learning studies.
Super, sir.
And this project is a part of it actually.
Super.
That's what
Maybe
I
probably
used to tell.
whenever I come to Coimbatore, I should visit your place then.
Yeah, it's good to have a visit. The good thing with Amrita and VAT is we have some inbuilt funds also.
Exactly.
So we show
we
some
have
basic
something called
results with the
seed fund.
seed money. Yes, yes.
Uh,
So we show some basic results and then get projects, but in some places it's very tough because projects once you show some results only now they are giving. It's not that for equipments and consumables you can get it.
correct. Sir, and one more, a common query which most of the people have is when we are going with this funded project,
Yes.
there are so many criteria, and then there is a kind of people get result even after waiting for 2 years. There is no reply from the team, DST team or the
Yeah, yeah.
DPP team or things. Then people were asking, is there any kind of a platform or something where we can try to get a follow up? Then I was saying that whenever you have submitted the project, you might have gotten a particular SPOC, that is a single point of contact, who would be the in charge of taking care of that particular, reviewing of that particular project. So that particular scientist might be, giving you the exact status.
True, true. Because what I would also advise people is suppose if they are going for a project in an existing area, that is an area which is established for a minimum of 5 years, it is better to take a senior in the recognized government institute to have a main PI and we can be co PIs.
Exactly.
The main reason is most of the places related to my studies might not have a ethical clearance actually to do some additional clinical trials.
Correct, sir.
So obviously, if you want a complete ethical clearance, you should go through them only.
Correct, sir. So even for my project which I applied, thankfully I had a few people from CSIR by
Yes, yes.
my dad's contact. So
Yes.
I actually am just collaborating with them.
Yes. CSIR, no need to worry, sir. In all areas, you have experts.
Correct.
And that too, I know a person who has published a paper in Lancet in CCMB.
Okay.
And in India, only 7 to 8 people have published in Lancet. And he is one among them.
Super, sir. And one more common query which people ask when during this funded project is, generally people tend to quote less budget, which is not true. Because again, for that budget, if you are giving a proper justification when we are doing the equipment cost, I think that would be fine, sir. What do you feel, sir?
The thing is, there's less budget they can quote, but what they'll be doing is
No,
outsourcing is
because
allowed one.
that's what, sir. When we are quoting less budget, the funding organization, they will try to reduce the budget further.
True, true.
So that is the reason why, even if you are giving a proper kind of amount, say for example an equipment is costing say 12 lakhs. So give a proper explanation about why that particular equipment is needed for your work. So anyways, we are giving a justification for the budget.
True,
I
true.
think in the first annexure itself, we have to give the
We have.
justification.
Yes,
So
yes.
I think that would be
Because that's what.
yeah.
What I would say is that only 30% of work can be outsourced in your project.
Correct.
If you put less budget, it is understood that you are going to outsource more than 70%.
And
When
even
you
that
outsource
might
more
not
than
be encouraged
70% of
also.
the work, most of the people in the funding body will not approve it.
Exactly.
So you should design the budget in such a way that how much can be outsourced and to what percentage. Those things should be very clear.
So I think most of the current academic colleges, they are running behind the funded projects,
Of course.
especially for the, the UGC ranking or the
Yes,
NAT
yes,
accreditation or all those
everything.
things. So
Everything.
and then most of the people are trying to hesitate for applying for a funded project because they feel that, oh, this idea, can it be put as a funded project, can we implement it, and all those queries they have.
Well, the
But
query is very simple
yeah, but the
because what
point
happens
is,
is,
anyways, we are recruiting SRFs and JRFs, and
true,
we
true.
would be obviously we would be trying to mentor them, and they would be doing their work as a part of their research.
Of course.
And we can even recruit postdoc people.
Yes, obvious.
Mm.
Because postdocs, what to say, if you give him a little extra, he's going to work for you
Exactly.
day and night. And postdocs are mostly required for very high funding projects.
Exactly, sir.
Because JRFs and SRFs can be for only average funding only. If the project is of a very high funding and it involves multiple collaboration, more postdocs are required.
Yes.
Because you can't give more responsibility to JRF and SRF compared to postdoc.
Correct. And again, we cannot depend on them for all the critical works. Again, their knowledge levels might be very limited.
No, I won't say that. Though they are knowledgeable and they can do things fast, you can't.
Knowledge level means the experience level, sir.
Yeah, experience level. Yeah, that is true. That is true. That's what.
Anyway,
Because I know some JRFs and SRFs who are equivalent to postdocs, but I would advise my team to give less work only to them compared to postdocs. Why? Because like giving more work to JRF and SRF and giving less work to postdoc should not be there. Once he reaches a next level of position, he has to be in a position to work more also.
exactly, sir. And frankly speaking, the postdoc people are paid more than the SRFs.
Yeah, because I don't want to use the word, so that only I told in a polished manner. Why? Because when your position increases, obviously everything is going to increase.
Correct.
Your work level, and you should be in a position to manage it. Because taking a position for the sake of having an additional affiliation, no, at the back of your name will not help in long run.
I think we can take some of the queries from the other members regarding the funded projects, because most of the colleges are now running behind the funded projects. So let's throw the forum open for any queries regarding the funded projects.
Sure. Okay. As sir was rightly discussing, I hereby request the audience to have your queries on funded projects, starting from basic student funding projects to the enhanced level of crore funding like DBT, DST, and some Indo-US and Indo-Sweden and Indo-Japan or Indo-German based projects. You can have your queries now.
I think the other day, maybe Akhtar Banu ma'am or somebody, I do not remember for sure. She was asking some query regarding this funded project. Ma'am, Akhtar Banu
Yes.
ma'am?
I think she asked a query, but now she is more clear, and Madam was the one who posted the recent openings in DST server in the group.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. After our previous discussion, I explored that, sir, and then
Yes.
I got some clarity, and then I got
Yes.
that openings
Yes.
for the proposals which I posted, sir.
That's what. And my appreciation, ma'am, my appreciation to you. Like without the science domain, no, you have explored a lot of immunology.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I also shared these things with my science faculty.
Yes, extraordinary, really.
Sir, Hari sir, again,
Yes.
is there any kind of a funding? We are talking about engineering and sciences, and there are so many organizations who are funding all these particular projects.
Yes.
What
Yes.
about the other domains? Maybe the arts or humanities or.
That's what, sir, because everybody is into machine learning, sir. Now there are many universities who started course on AI in finance.
Oh,
You heard now, sir? Artificial intelligence in finance course is there in most of the universities now.
okay.
Yes, yes, sir.
So,
Sir,
like if you have artificial intelligence now, that will be there for 10 years and you can get good funding.
No, sir. But say, for example, if I do not go for all these kind of multidisciplinary kind of work, if maybe people who are working in the English department, they have some kind of research which needs some kind of funding. Maybe they want to visit the other universities abroad with the research discussion. So,
Sir,
do we
actually,
have any kind of
yeah, yeah,
opportunities for that?
yeah, exchange programs are there, sir. In all funding bodies, there is a special funding for exchange program that doesn't require much inputs like the crowdfunding.
Okay.
Exchange program funding is totally different. Every year there is a call for exchange programs. But in case of crowdfunding, there is a senior Tamil faculty in Amrita. Even he is into AI now.
But again, we have the senior Tamil faculty here right with us, Dr. Yael sir.
we have
vanakkam.
lot of hidden talent in Velta Forum. We have highly resourceful personalities here.
Dr. Yael ஐயா வணக்கம்.
Very true, ma'am. Truly said.
அனைத்து சகோதர மக்களுக்கும் வணக்கம். அற்புதமாக போய்கொண்டிருக்கிறது நிகழ்வு தொடர என்னுடைய அருள் கூர்ந்த வாழ்த்துக்கள். தொடர்ந்து தங்களுடைய உரையாடலை நிகழ்த்துங்கள். நான் உங்களை கூர்ந்து கவனித்துக் கொண்டிருக்கிறேன். நன்றி திரு சிவாஜி அவர்களே, நன்றி.
ஓகே, எழில் சார், உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்ச இதை பத்தியும் சொல்லுங்க சார். தமிழ்ல எந்தெந்த மாதிரி விஷயங்களுக்கு சர்க்கார் மூலமா உதவிகள் கிடைக்கும், எந்தெந்த மாதிரி விஷயங்கள் நம்ம எழுதலாம், அந்த மாதிரியும் சொல்லுங்க சார், உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சது.
இனி வரும் காலங்களில் தேவையான தகவலை சேகரித்து போறதுக்கு அளிக்க வேண்டியது நம்முடைய கடமை. தாங்கள் சொல்லிவிட்டீர்கள். இனி தேவையான அத்தனை தகவல்களும் ஆதாரத்தோடு அரசாங்கத்திலிருந்து நம்ம என்னென்ன பண்ண முடியுங்கிற தகவலை நான் சேகரித்து உங்களுக்கு சொல்றேன் சார்.
சரிங்க,
கண்டிப்பாக. தேங்க்யூ சார்.
ஓகே.
I think even Lakshmi ma'am wanted to say something. Lakshmi ma'am.
Madam, you can use the chat box, madam, now.
Sir, Shiva sir was telling something about project for women. What is it, sir? I didn't go through that.
Actually, madam, the forum you forwarded, no, madam, from SERB, DST portal.
Yes, yes.
In that, one project is there for women empowerment and security.
Okay, okay. I'll go through it.
And one more thing is that only women can be PIs and co-PIs.
Okay, okay.
So the probability of getting the project is comparatively high compared to other projects.
Correct, correct.
Ma'am, Akhtar Banu, ma'am, I have shared that particular link in the chat, ma'am. You can just
Okay,
check out
sir.
that.
Please, sir. Please, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank
So
you.
it is a women scientist program.
Okay, okay.
So you have so many call for us in that.
Okay, sir. I'll go through it.
That is a part of that 30% women empowerment is there, no government policy. It's a part
Yes,
of that
sir.
actually.
Okay, okay. For women scientists, sir, it is?
Yes, yes. 30% is already allocated by government
Okay, okay.
among the projects.
Okay. I can share it with our women life sciences people.
Ma'am, you apply. Because what I would say is, you can be friendly, you can share with people, but at the end of the day, you also should be there.
Ma'am, Akhtar Banu, ma'am, let me tell you those details since my team is working on it. So
Okay,
actually,
sir.
it is for applied science as well as societal research. So
Okay, okay.
maybe for societal research, you can actually contribute, ma'am.
Yes, sir. I can, sir. Because my area of research is women and women empowerment, child
Correct,
labor.
ma'am.
These are my interest areas, sir.
So the SNT is for societal benefit.
Okay, okay.
Because
Actually,
though you
before,
work on applied science, what they are going to look for is what component is there in social science also.
Okay, okay.
Because in
No,
most of the
there
applied
are
science,
separate categories also. One is applied science, one is societal.
no sir, no, categories is there. But when I went for presentations, what I have observed is,
Yeah, that is in generic. Correct.
yes,
That is in generic. So any
because
project, they would see that, okay, how is this particular system benefiting the society? How you can, do
yeah,
the feasibility for this.
I myself know when I wrote on genetic engineering, it was tough to get funding. But when I modified what to say, some species to degrade plastics or metals, it was easy.
Correct.
In that case, I'll go through it for myself because before entering into government service, actually I worked for quite a long time for a major project by the government of India, sir, with NCLP, National Child Labor Project, where
Great,
I
great.
I
So the
worked.
probability is really high.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, Akhtar Banu, ma'am, let me discuss a small idea here about the women's projects. I already had an idea, but somehow it got delayed. Maybe I would share this with you so that you can proceed with it. Ma'am, it was about the sanitization policies in the women who are actually living in rural parts of India.
Okay.
So, what kind of sanitization schemes or systems can be provided for them so that their health can be improvised? So this was the rough idea which we were trying to look up, but then somehow it got missed. So maybe you can carry forward on this particular aspects. Yeah, because there have been so many call fors in this particular area, especially sanitization.
Yes, sir. Health hygiene, especially in rural areas.
Correct.
Correct, sir.
And thanks for giving this idea, sir. And our group has got a patent recently as a part of Living Labs project.
Okay,
what is it
wonderful. Congratulations.
What? No, it was not a patent only for me. 20 people were there, 10 applicants and 10 inventors. I am in the applicant list only in this patent.
Okay.
What we do is, there is a person in my team who's good in making membranes for curcumin molecule actually. What he does is he extracts curcumin molecules and make membranes so that there is no sewage or other things and all. He makes many products through it. That is internationally well known now, and we are looking for other patents also in other countries for this product. Soumya sir?
Yes, sir.
You know about curcumin, right? From turmeric we get that molecule, but only thing is making it in a membrane is very tough.
Correct, sir. But I think recently there was a debate that, that turmeric and the turmeric making process has been taken the patent rights by the American government. Is it?
No. What happens is, because there are two forms actually. Most people who work on the yellowish initial product, but there is a whitish product which we get in very less number. But you can
what do you say? The woman.
White curcumin. Yes.
தமிழ்ல என்ன சார் சொல்றது? மஞ்சள் ஏதோ ஒன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க சார். மஞ்சள் ஐயா எழில் அவர்களே. ஐயா நீங்க அன்மியூட் பண்ணாங்க ஐயா.
அதான் சார், எப்படின்னா ஒயிட் குர்குமின் அந்த ப்ராசஸ்ல வரும் சார், ஆனா கம்மியான அமௌண்ட் தான் வரும். நம்ம நிறைய மஞ்சள்ல இருந்து எடுக்கணும். அதை ஒயிட் குர்குமின் எடுத்து மெம்பரைன்ல ஸ்டெபிலைஸ் பண்ணணும். அந்த ப்ராடக்ட்ஸ்க்கு நம்ம இதுலயே பேட்டன் நிறைய இருக்கு சார். இந்த சிஎல்ஆர்ஐ கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்கல்ல சார் சௌமியா சார்?
ஆமா சார்.
இங்க பூவனகிருஷ்ணன் சார் நிறைய ஒர்க் பண்ணிருக்காரு. ஆமா, நிறைய பூவனகிருஷ்ணன் ஒரு சார் இருக்காரு, அவர் நிறைய ஒர்க் பண்ணிருக்காரு குர்குமின் எக்ஸ்ட்ராக்ஷன்ல. ஓ
ஓகே. CLRI, you are talking about the Chennai campus?
Yes. Now he's retired, but he has done extensive work on curcumin.
Oh.
அவங்க கிட்ட இருந்து தான் we got some initial samples and we reworked and got some additional patents.
Super.
மெயின் ரீசன் மெம்பரேன்ல ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்றது தான் ரொம்ப கஷ்டம். அட்வான்ஸ்டு மெம்பரேன்ஸ் தேவை அதுக்கு தான் மெட்டீரியல் சயின்ஸ் அவங்க கூட ஹெல்ப்லாம் தேவைப்படும்.
கரெக்ட் சார்.
இந்தியா லெவல்ல வாங்கியாச்சு, பட் வேர்ல்டு ஃபுல்லா அதை மார்க்கெட் பண்றதுக்கு தான் இப்ப பிளான் போயிட்டு இருக்கு. தனித்தனியா பேட்டன்ஸ் வாங்கணும் இப்ப.
கரெக்ட் சார்.
எங்க லிவின் லேப்ஸ் மூலமா அந்த ரூரல் ஹெல்த் செட்டப் அதுல எல்லாம் வந்து ட்ரை பண்ணி நல்லா ரேட் சக்சஸ் ரேட் வந்திருக்கு.
சூப்பர் சார். Sir, and one more, query. When we are trying to write any kind of research article, when we are citing certain patents, do we have a specific standard format for citing the patents? Because when we are going with the patents in the search of Google patents, so do we have any, can we use that, or do we have any other standard
ஆக்சுவலி சார் இல்ல சைட்டேஷன் வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு ஆர்டிகல்ஸுக்கு தான் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட்ஸ் இருக்கு சார். எம்எல்ஏ ஃபார்மேட், அந்த ஏபிஏ ஃபார்மேட், அந்த மாதிரி ஆர்டிகல்ஸுக்கு தான் இருக்கு. பட் பேட்டன்ஸுக்கு வந்து ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் ஃபார்மேட் கிடையாது. பட் சில ஜேர்னல்ஸ் வந்து இந்த ஃபார்மேட்ல பண்ணணும்னு சொல்லிடுவாங்க, அவங்களுக்கு ஈஸியா இருக்கணும் பேஜினேஷன் சொல்லிட்டு அதை ஈஸியா சொல்லிடுவாங்களே தவிர, பட் இதுக்கு வந்து ஸ்டாண்டர்டா ஒரு ஆப்ரேட்டிங் ப்ரொசீஜர்ஸ் இன்னுமே கிடையாது.
ஓகே.
ஏன்னா பேட்டன்ட்டும் பப்ளிகேஷனும் வேற வேற டொமைன்ஸ் ஆக்சுவலா.
கரெக்ட் சார்.
சோ அது வந்து ஆப்டிமைஸ் பண்றது ரொம்ப கஷ்டம்.
In certain papers which I'm currently working on, there are a few patents from which we are gathering some literature data. So when we were thinking about this, citing the patent, then I was just asking my team, just can you guys think about what is the standard operation procedure for citing these patents? Then they were having a huge time in doing this.
இல்ல சார், ஆப்ரேட்டிங் ப்ரொசீஜர் கண்டிப்பா கொடுக்க முடியாது, ஏன்னா வேற வேற டொமைன்ஸ். ஆனா வந்து என்ன பண்ணலாம்னா அந்த சீஃப் எடிட்டர் ஏதாவது ஒரு ப்ரொசீஜர் அவரா சொல்லலாம்.
ஓகே.
அவரா ஏதாவது யோசிச்சு சொல்லலாமே தவிர ஆப்ரேட்டிங் ப்ரொசீஜர் எதுவுமே கிடையாது.
ஓகே. ரைட் சார்.
ஏன்னா சார் இண்டஸ்ட்ரி அகாடமிக்ஸ் வந்து எப்பவுமே வந்து டிஃபரன்ஸ் இருக்கும்ல.
Correct, sir. No, similar thing is also with the white papers. Generally, we go with any white papers from Microsoft or IBM or all these companies. Even, they don't have such kind of standards that, okay, this is the standard for citing the white papers or something like that. generally we go with whatever is the editorial board, which they have.
Of course.
Based
Actually,
on their
sir,
format
அது
only, we
என்னன்னா
are just going with it.
இல்ல சார், அகடமிஷியன்ஸுக்கு தான் அது வந்து தேவை சார். ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் ஃபார்மேட், ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் சைட்டேஷன்ஸ் எல்லாம். இண்டஸ்ட்ரியை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் அதெல்லாம் உங்களுக்கு தேவையே இல்லை. ப்ராடக்ட் வந்து நிறைய பேர் யூஸ் பண்றாங்களா, குவாலிட்டி இருக்கு, அவ்வளவுதான் இண்டஸ்ட்ரி. ஆனா மைக்ரோசாஃப்ட் இதுல எல்லாம் டயத்தை வேஸ்ட் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தா இண்டஸ்ட்ரியல் ப்ராடக்ட் வராது அங்க, ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் ஃபார்மேட்ல எல்லாம்.
That's what, sir, especially for their white papers, when they are doing an R&D process, they actually have certain white papers which we can
சார், அவங்களோட ஒயிட் பேப்பர்ஸ் அதான் நானும் பார்த்திருக்கேன். அதுவும் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் ஃபார்மேட்ல எல்லாம் இருக்காது.
That's what I'm saying, sir.
அந்த ரிசல்ட்ஸ் வந்து நல்லா இருக்குமே தவிர ஃபார்மேட் எல்லாம் அவங்க இஷ்டத்துக்கு எழுதி விடுவாங்க. ஏன்னா அந்த ரிசல்ட் தான் அவங்களுக்கு முக்கியம், ஃபார்மேட் முக்கியமே கிடையாது அவங்களுக்கு.
Exactly.
நீங்க எப்படின்னா அந்த குவாண்டம் கம்ப்யூட்டிங் பேப்பர் பார்த்திருப்பீங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். ஒயிட் பேப்பர் ரீசெண்டா வந்தது. குவாண்டம் கம்ப்யூட்டிங் அட்வான்ஸ்டு சர்வர் தே ஆர் டெவலப்பிங் மைக்ரோசாஃப்ட் டீம்ல. எங்க இதுலயும் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க அந்த ஒர்க். Okay. Any more queries? I'll be happy to answer.
Sir, Harish sir.
Yes, madam.
Something about student projects, sir, as how we can encourage our students.
Yes. Yeah, student project is a part of both state and central government. In state government, there is Tamil Nadu Science and Technology Council, TNSCST Council is there. There you can have students project. Every year they select 100 students, that is 25 students in each domain, like engineering, science, arts and social science. Like that they select 100 students and 5,000 will be paid to them for 3 months project. That is Tamil Nadu thing. And in central government, you have funding from University of Delhi and related government-related central universities. So they can get rupees 10,000 for their 5 to 6 months. And then there is initial budding science project in Tamil Nadu Science and Technology Council, where budding scientists with only master degree can get about 5 lakhs. One of my friend who she was working in the previous college where I was doing my initial teaching experience for 2 years. It's Krishna Arts and Science College. One person got that 5 lakhs basic funding from Tamil Nadu Science and Technology Council.
Okay, sir.
And then you have some advanced funding projects from DBT and DST. Okay, I hope I answered your question, ma'am.
Yes, sir. I will go through it, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes. There are projects for even master candidates also, not only for PhD. Even if you have a good project idea, you can have any PhD as a main PI and you can be co-PIs.
Okay, sir.
Harish sir.
சொல்லுங்க sir.
You are speaking me in Tamil. But most of us, most of our brothers and sisters here at the forum.
Okay sir, no problem.
Yes.
Tamil and English, no problem, sir. But Hindi, a lot of problems, sir, for me.
No. Don't specify any language, sir, here because we are all.
No. I'm telling you, a problem for me only. Because I studied Hindi for just getting 40 marks till my 8th class. In my school, they won't give rank card if I did not get 40 marks.
Professor, what my curiosity is, when you go for initiate to do any writing a paper in the journal, can you give on the lecture on basis of publishing papers in a standard journals and national international journals? If you give us some
Actually,
kind of
sir, yeah, no. I can give. And one more thing, what I would say is, you have IQAC committee, no, sir, in your institution. You get the guidelines from them, sir, what they are looking for. Because in my university, every 3 months they keep changing. Initially, they told Web of Science, then Science Citation Index. Now they are telling only Q1 and Q2 in Scopus. So you get a guideline from them, what they are looking at for 1 or 2 years. Then I can tell you accordingly. Because everybody, since they want to have a lot of restrictions in giving promotions and other things, they have a lot of restrictions in standards.
Sir, you are before working in Krishna Arts and Science, here at
Yes.
Arakono?
No, sir, Coimbatore.
Okay.
In Velta also, there is a person from my IQAC committee from Krishna Arts and Science, Dr. Manigandan. He was speaking on climate change.
Yes. He was, he is there. He is here. He is here at our forum. Yes, sir. Thank you, Professor.
He was the IQAC head actually in those days. Yeah.
Oh, IQAC head. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Now I think the head has changed, but he knows a lot of things in IQAC. He got a lot of projects also.
Sir, we teacher need to write more number of papers, publish it in reputed journals, because all AICT now scrutinizing us, and also
everybody, not only AICT, UGC, NAC, NBA, and what ABCD, from A to Z, no, all bodies are there to scrutinize us.
Backpack and trash from everyone, sir. What we can do? We are aged people. You are still, you are energetic. You are telling so.
No.
I can't understand even,
No, it is not like. No, it is not like understanding, sir. Whatever we know, after 3 months, there is a committee to tell that you have to start from the scratch. Whatever you have done till now, it is zero.
Exactly, sir. Exactly. Especially with IQAC, it comes.
You are a Magan. Magan should always visit us. Give us some insight, give us some advisory.
That's what. And especially in my field, sir. In my field, every 6 months there is a new update. It's very, very tough.
See,
Nucleic acid research journal is there to keep us on track. Every 6 months they publish very good articles, which we can't understand by a week time. It takes 2 weeks for me to understand an article in nucleic acid research. Somya sir?
Akarbanu ma'am,
growing on.
Since now I am a part of IQAC, I can't comment. Because I am facing so many things.
Correct, you told last time.
There would be, we would say to prepare a document in a certain format. After 10 days, we would say,
change the format.
Change the format.
Yes.
So many scoldings from my friends.
Correct, sir. Today, 2 of my colleagues, they came. Unnecessarily, we came to this college. Lot of tension. We were very cool in that college. Every minute, we get Excel sheets from IQAC, one after the other.
Ma'am, the problem is, no, I'll tell you the truth. Even if they go to the previous college now, it will not be the same. Before.
Exactly. I told the same.
It will not be the same before, I'm telling you.
No,
because I have worked in art college, industry, engineering college. Now the situation is totally different than the days I was working.
Yeah, I told the same thing, sir. Now if you go there, it will be like that. The only thing is, don't take tension to your mind and heart. Just steadily, peacefully keep on working. Document your things so that it will be easy for you to furnish whenever you are asked.
Yes.
That is the only solution, sir.
Actually, ma'am, nowadays, ma'am, they need to write their assignments with only 5% plagiarism. School kids, they are checking plagiarism now. 5th standard kids are writing assignments with 5% plagiarism only.
Our madam has Malathi madam has suggested Google Freshsheet, JITTES.
Yes, Malti ma'am, good evening. You are telling something, ma'am.
Good evening. I was listening to all the funding issues, but I have never been into any project. So it was just like listening with a very cool mind because I was nowhere. And now when it comes to IQAC and this filling up the data,
Yes.
which is exactly what Akhtar Banu ma'am and Shiva were talking about. Every it is so, it changes so fast. Although I'm not a member of IQAC, but I am on top of that. I am a member of NAC. I am the UGC convener.
Okay.
So it is like these committees, they are intertwined.
Yes,
So,
yes, ma'am.
And one pinches the other. When things go wrong, then one pinches the other. So I'm a part of this whole process, directly or indirectly. So here in our system, Government of Rajasthan Higher Education, they say fill up this Google spreadsheet.
Yes,
So
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
the moment the capital G appears in the text,
It's a way.
yeah, that is why we call
It's a
it
standing SOP, madam. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, today we received, ma'am, we were asked to fill Aish. We were asked to complete NIRF. Vidyanjali. Vidyanjali is a new initiative by the government of India.
Yeah.
To
Yes.
register.
So,
Yes.
can you
And then,
share about the financial details, ma'am, please?
yeah, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I also membered to part of that Vidyanjali, ma'am.
Vidyanjali.
So
Okay.
many.
Okay, I'll forward all the guidelines, ma'am, right now. You can post your number in the chat box. I'll forward, and I'll also share in our group to Sharavanan sir.
Dr. Banu ma'am,
Yes, sir.
ma'am, you share it with me also because in Amrita IQAC forum they told some data we need to take from Vidyanjali also.
I'll forward now itself, sir. And I completed first level today, sir. And after crossing 3 levels, they asked to nominate a coordinator. And I kept all the papers on my principal's table and said, sir, you nominate so that I can entrust this to the coordinator. Sir, every day one or the other will be coming. And one person can't take so many things.
Yeah.
Yes. Sir,
I have
ma'am.
a question, and I don't know who's going to answer it. They asked us to fill so much of data, whether it is you or Shiva or Harish sir or it's me, anybody. By the way, who reads this amount of data and who comprehends this amount?
Ma'am, to be
Ma'am, can I answer that, ma'am?
Yes,
Yes,
Shiva
yes.
sir is there. Okay.
Ma'am, actually, in this whole audit committee, we have something called a RAC team. So they are the the quality and audit people.
Yeah.
Since I am the lead for that, we are the people who are going through those documents, consolidating the documents, analyzing what is missing, and then trying to again reconsolidate all those things. Multiply by
Yes. Listen. This is okay. But when they ask you to fill up the same thing, now, then after 3 months, same query, they chew it like chewing gum. They ask you to fill up the same data again and again.
No, ma'am, I don't think so, ma'am. Because
No, the thing is that what happens, no, sir, because it might be different, but some data there will be some similarities.
exactly, sir. So what we are doing, in VIT is we have a particular cloud platform where we are trying to update all the data which are being collected from the faculty. So any kinds of new modifications will only be updated.
Yes, sir, we also
So
have it.
every time we are not going to ask the same kind of data because again it is kind of a repetition. So any changes in that particular data or any kind of new updates will only be asked. Say for example.
But the thing is, sir, Shiva sir, basic information should come, whatever is, even Vidyanjali, when I filled in today, nearly 7 to 8 pages were like routine. It appears as if that we are doing the same thing, but somewhere in some corner comes the technicality of the new initiative.
Okay.
That's it.
Ma'am, that's what, ma'am. So if you're having a proper, I do not know how I can explain this because it's an internal thing with VIT. So we have a particular software which can intelligently,
Catch what
optimize
you
the
actually
things.
want.
Yeah.
Okay.
So optimize the things. So
You
whenever
people, you corporate universities will have all these facilities. Because
No, ma'am. No, no, no.
no, ma'am, it is not like
I'm
that.
sharing. Now there is a cloud platform actually. Amazon is giving some good space in cloud,
Yeah.
Okay.
which can be utilized for free. Just you need your team to integrate with that cloud for that free space. It can be done easily.
And
Even Google has a separate cloud in Colabs now.
Correct. So
Yeah.
and
Thing is, we have to be. I mean, technologically, technical aspects, we have to update first.
ma'am, that's what,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
basic thing, ma'am. Google Colab, just you need to have a normal server. That's it to link it.
Okay. Okay.
That's what, ma'am. For deploying all these technical things, we have we can go with the technical team, which every
Technical team,
university
yes,
will
yes.
be having.
Hmm. We take that is what we take the help of our technical.
And nowadays you don't require extensive coding. Only basic coding
Exactly,
lines
ma'am.
are reduced a
Even
lot
when you're
actually.
going with this Amazon cloud services, it is just that you have to just drag and drop. Even if you're going with the storage services, you have to just it's just few click of buttons. Very
Okay.
simple it is.
Okay.
Shiva, in a government setup, you don't have the freedom to spend a single penny without going through the official protocol system and all that. Number one. Number two, those who are giving the orders, they themselves don't understand either the language or the technicality. Once between A, B, C, D, once they will ask you to fill up the same thing in this order, A, B, C, D. Then they will say, okay, D, C, A, B. Then they will mix up, means these four things, they will mix up so many times. They will make 400 out of 4. And if you go to the official orders of the past 6 years, even those who have signed those orders do not understand what they were themselves asking for. The information asked, we are people of English. For us, it is easy to understand. At least we can understand whether it makes sense or it doesn't make sense. They themselves don't understand all this. And this is true. So if you talk about the whole system, it is not about you or me or Akhtar Banu ma'am or Harish sir. I am saying it is about the whole system. There are people with lower facilities, lower IQ, those who do not have the clerical staff, less manpower, one official person doing so much of multitasking, top to bottom, from picking up an alpin to taking out a photocopy to everything. To the extent, I'm talking about government setup. Okay, I have seen situations in which the principal goes, opens his office, he goes and cleans his table, he sweeps his own office, and then he does all the things. One man institution. This is a truth, and it has been taken up in a meeting. That how can a person like this be expected to fill up so many spreadsheets, provide so much of data, in which the last line of every order is, in Hindi they write, "Aap vyaktishah zimmedar honge." You will be personally accountable in case you don't do it within the stipulated time. A person who unlocks the door
That's
and
crazy.
his own office. How can you expect that person to do so much of work when
Ma'am, finally during the audit meeting, people will just simply say, "Arey, aapne to raita phaila diya."
So see, this is a situation. This is a real time observation, and it may not apply to you as an individual. It may not apply to me as an individual. But we are talking about at least the whole country, where there are less privileged offices and officers. So if you think about them, and then you ask them to fill up data like IQSC, which is mandatory. So are we providing them with the manpower, the technical know-how, and the infrastructure? After you first provide that thing, and then provide them a babu, provide them a typist, provide them a computer expert. Then
Madam, excuse me, sorry for interruption. You are talking about mechanism of government and governmental organization.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
We cannot change anything. Just
We have to change. We have to change.
we need to get grow, and we can withstand our place, and we can fulfill all our duty. See, so a lot of resources are available nowadays, like Harish and Dr. Siva. Everyone are there. So we may have to put,
Correct, sir.
exactly.
For
If
us,
you
we are
say,
there, sir.
Madam, you are a senior most professor, I think you are near your retirement. Why should you worry much? You can enjoy your post. You can enjoy your post and be happy.
Sir, I'm efficient enough. I'm efficient enough to find a way out. See, I have seen people going through the same situation. So see, now because we are discussing about all these things, then see, this is also a part of, and even those offices are they are forced to fill up the IQAC data, to fill up all the spreadsheets of which they know nothing. They don't even know how to deliver a mail, and they are expected to do all this. And email is the easiest thing. They don't know even that much, and they don't have the manpower for that.
See, we know everything because of our governance and style of our administration. We know all of the things.
Yes.
There is no personal assistant for any officials here now. There is no personal assistant. There is no typist. There is no everywhere we know about the government style, madam. Okay, let it be. Okay.
So, although we have shifted a bit from the funding and the data collection and all that, but this was just an added dimension to the same thing, that we have a proper backup. Probably things would be brighter. So this is what's happening, the real situation in offices.
Thank you, Eril sir. Thank you, Malti ji, for your kind input. And again, it's really very interesting discussion. And again, I would like to thank Professor Harish Chandra sir for his wonderful presentation, as well as the discussions whatever we had with Somaji sir, and again all the other dignitaries and elite professors. Now, moving ahead, we have our the next presenter for the day, that is our Krishna Priya madam from Tyagaraja College, Madurai, who was graciously consented to be the second presenter. I would like to request her to take over the session. Madam is a very seasoned teacher, and again she has been teaching English for a number of years, and again she is registered PhD under our Prema madam, and she has been doing her PhD, and it's interesting to have such a real scholar with us. And over to you, ma'am. And madam is going to present on theories to release the kaleidoscopic reflections of life. Thank you, ma'am, for basing this occasion, and again over to you, ma'am, for the presentation. Thank you all. Hearty congratulations, sir. Harish sir, for your wonderful input, and again, really,
thanks a lot, sir. And a lot of help I got today from Somya sir and Akhtar Banu madam.
No, wonderful. It's rather than it's a short conversation. It is really fruitful discussions we had. Amazing, really. And this is how I wanted it to go, sir. And so very nice and kind of you, sir.
Yes, and finally, to answer the queries of Eril sir and Malati ma'am, within 2 to 3 years, there will be only one portal, sir. AICT is taking a lot of plans for it now. There won't be much of NBA or NAC or separate portal. There will be only one portal for all.
Yeah, true. And again, they are centralizing everything. They want to bring one umbrella. That is how the state
Very soon, very soon. Yeah.
as you rightly pointed out, it is going to be under one umbrella. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
That would be fine, sir. Waiting
Yes.
for that.
Yes, yes. Even NABL, they got approval for integrating now.
Harish sir,
Yes.
have they coined a name for that integrated portal, whatever they are thinking of?
Yeah, it will be like there won't be government or private. It will be like quality accreditation level. That's it. They'll be categorizing universities based on quality only. Level 1, level 2, level 3. That's it.
Okay.
But it will take a minimum of 5 years to get in real-time practice. But all portal agreed for this initiative, starting from ISO to NABL.
Okay, okay. That's great. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, yes.
Saranam sir, can I start the session? Excuse me,
Madam,
sir.
Krishna ma'am, please do.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes.
A warm welcome and very good evening. I am Krishna Priya, at present, and I'm working as an assistant professor of English here at the College, Madurai. So today we are going to have a discussion on the topic theories to relish the kaleidoscopic reflection of life. See, at end of this session, we are going to have a justification over the title. Before that, let's get into the context, which means, I'm going to have a deep discussion on 4 contemporary topics, or you could either call it as approach, or a concept, or ideology, or theories, anything, which are freshly baked. Okay. See, we are in a society who never fails to give us a new perspective on how we see life. Okay. So give me a second. Let me share my PPT so that I can right away jump into the topic, and we might have deep discussion on the new topics that we are going to that I have. Okay. Theories to relish the kaleidoscopic reflection of life. So this is the whole title that I'm going to have discussion today. But let's talk about the title at the end, so that when I have a deep discussion on the whole concept, then only you will understand what's up with the title. So every now and then, like whenever I have a discussion on anything, I used to start with the famous poem by Rudyard Kipling. So, as like any regular session, and here it goes. If you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same. Okay, so this poem is very much by Rudyard Kipling. Even though he's imperialist, he doesn't sounds imperialist or poet in this poem. He only, we only hear the voice of a concerned father. Okay, so let's not have a discussion on the poem. We'll quickly jump into the contemporary theories or methods or approaches. Right now, that is shaking the whole era of that we are in today. So here I have, made a few recent topic that is very hot right now, or I could simply say freshly baked. See, there are many topics that is already there in the studies, like disability, dystopian, but I could rightly point a few things that is not yet come to a contemporary feel. Like first thing goes with fact studies. What's up with the fact studies? What is there with fact studies, and what is there to study about a body? See, there are studies that depends on how our body is created. But what's up with the fact? Why are we focusing on exclusively on fact? I have taken an extract from a theory book, and I'm going to give you an exclusive explanation on fact studies and how you are supposed to jot down the studies instead of you beating the bush. Okay, so here the first line goes like this: if you believe that fat people could lose weight, then you're not doing fat studies. See, as like I said earlier, we are going to have a deep analysis on fat studies. Okay, so if you're going to talk about people, like imagine you're seeing a people who are fat and then you're going to pursue them to lose weight, that is, you're not doing a fat studies. You are judging a people, or you're just giving your opinion on how you look at them. So that concept does not come under a study. It is how you look at them and how you are. It can be of a concern or anything. It basically how you look at them. Okay, then there goes the second point. If you believe that being fat is a disease and that fat people cannot possibly enjoy good health or long life, then you're not doing fat studies again. Okay, so here you're going to talk about health issue. Okay, so which specifically comes under scientific term, obesity. Okay, so here also I'm going to talk about fat. So what is with fat? How will see? Imagine I wanted to do on fat studies, and how will I start? See, fat is something that is part of a human being. Okay, or any other living being. Okay, so there is a well defined line. Fat studies is in strong contrast descriptive. Okay, see, like how we are going to analyze a height, weight is also one such scale. Okay, so you have to analyze why this person is fat and why this person is not gaining any weight. So your approach should be like that. Instead of you analyzing that person as ugly just because they are fat, or putting them under a category or unhealthy category just because they are fat. No, the fat study concerns about how a person has gained weight. Okay, so that is all about the study. Instead of you sitting and judging them, you need to understand why the particular person is gaining weight or why the particular person is not gaining weight. It is all about how you understand the person. See, we are in a situation where whole culture or society they are ready to help us. Because at right now, everyone is giving new perspective. Imagine there are a group of people or community, they are agreeing on something, and tomorrow they might disapprove the same point. Okay, so we are in a notion that keeps changing, something that is very arbitrary, or we need to understand every concept that we study today. See, today I'm going to talk about a fat study, and tomorrow, I might disapprove the fat studies because everything is perennial, nothing is permanent. Even the concept, the notion, the critic, the analysis, everything is arbitrary. That keeps changing. So once it studies is fat studies, I really hope that you understand what is about the fat studies. See, this topic is not something that I always wanted to take, but I wanted to take that is very contemporary, but yet it is very hidden. Okay, so we might have heard about vampire studies, sea literature, and so on and so. So I wanted to bring this as a concept because this is like, yeah, Captain, gets hidden. And second approaches or concept that I would like to bring to notice is digital literature. So what's up with the digital literature? Digital literature is nothing but where you download an ebook and read it in your mobile phone or tablet or laptop. No, there's a difference between e-literature and e-book. Okay, so whenever I ask someone, could you please suggest me something on electronic literature or digital literature, they instantly suggest some e-books. You have this website and where you can download 100 of e-books. No, I'm not talking about e-books or a website where you can download e-books. I'm talking about electronic literature, which exclusively developed for the electronic devices. Like you can only view them or read them through your mobile phones or tablet or computers. Okay, so which exclusively have this technology. Okay, electronic literature or digital literature is a genre of literature encompassing works created exclusively on or for digital devices like computers, tablets, and mobile phones. You cannot take the printout. I'll also show you an example of fiction, which was uh, very popular these days. If you are unaware about digital literature, give me a second. One second. One second. So, I'm going to show you a demo of digital literature. So, see, digital literature is basically, when you view them for the first time, you might mistreat them as a video games because that is how it looks. But it is not so. It is a digital literature, and so the title of this fiction is called "How to Rob a Bank." The title of this book, this e-literature book, is called "How to Rob a Bank." Like, we have a physical book, like a book by Khaled Hosseini, a kite trainer by Khaled Hosseini. We have a physical book, right? So this is e-literature, and the title of this book is "How to Rob a Bank." So you can only operate or read this on your laptop or your mobile phones. You cannot take printout of this book. So every now and then you press the arrow keys, they give you, like, whenever you turn pages, likewise, whenever you press the arrow or the next key, they gives you the options like this. Like, we have a part 1, part 2, part 3 in a physical book. Likewise, we have research in part 1. Here, a couple, okay, so they are going to try, they are about to rob a bank, and they're going to have a conversation in their mobile, through their mobile, to how they're going to rob a bank. So this is the whole book is all about. So yeah, so here, whenever we search Google, right? Imagine if you want to go to somewhere and you don't know you don't know the direction, you will be googling the direction, right? Likewise, this protagonist is searching Google search how to rob a bank, and obviously, Google suggests a few websites. And then here it goes. The whole thing is not a video game, but it is a book. Okay, so which gives you broad picture of what digital literature is. And the background sound is to give you, gives you excitement. So here, this protagonist is viewing the website that was suggested by Google, and then he is, thinking what to do with his plan. And then he searches for all the weapons that he wants to take with him to rob a bank. The whole thing is like this. Here, whenever we search something in phone, there comes an advertisement. Likewise, here it goes. So this is the whole concept. And then, he searches for a bank and everything. So this is what digital literature is. And again, we will go back to the PPT. Okay. And some novels are exclusive to tablets and smartphones for the simple fact that they require touch screen. See, likewise, I said you need to press the next arrow key. Here, you need to use your, something that exclusively coherence with the touch screen. How you turn the pages in physical book. Likewise, you have to swipe each screen to change the pages. Okay. See, I personally feel digital literature is blooming only after this pandemic, especially COVID-19. Because when we are arrested or when we were in lockdown, we couldn't communicate with anyone. We couldn't buy a book, during this time, this digital literature become a very popular genre. And then everyone started to enjoy, because like even like a college kids, they actually prefer digital literature, because this is a book, a knowledge plus entertainment, because the whole visual, it seems to be a video game. Okay. See, we have not only fiction. When it comes to digital literature, there are many genres like poem. There is one such poem called Lift, I guess, where you need to press each button to go each floor, and then there you will be exploring the floor, and then you will be entering into the home. The whole experience gives you as if you are playing a video game, but that is basically how you read a digital poem. Digital humanities is one such a blooming literature that is very much in demand, and people usually opt them for their research and for writing paper and so and so. Likewise, we have many genres in electronic literature. Hypertext fiction. Hypertext is nothing but, see, whenever you visit a website in order to apply somewhere, or you need to gain some, you need to know some information regarding something through website, you will be visiting a website, and there will be three dialogue lines where you will be asked to click, and there will be pull down arrow, and then there will be many columns where you need to choose where you want to visit. Likewise, there will be a fiction, like how I just projected a book, and there will be given many options. Like if you want to read book number 1 or book number 2, or sometimes there will be a structure like a tree. If you click a fruit, that fruit which has a certain context, that will appear. You're going to click a tree, a leaf, a context that was inserted in tree, that will a leaf that will appear. So that is what a hypertext fiction. And next one is code work. Code work is mainly concerned with whoever has power knowledge of C++, they could, and with whoever has interested both in C language and literature, such writer would explore code work, say comes up with certain code, and whenever they view it on website, that code appears. And next would be flash poetry. Flash poetry is something that you could read in a glance. Okay, so everything is systemized, and everything deals with the technology. You cannot take printout of any of these genres, and then you cannot read anything in them in the physical book. Everything is operated with internet. You can download them and you can view it often, but could only view it in your mobile phones or tablets or laptop. Flash poetry is something that you could read in a flash, which means like the poems like haiku. There will be only 2 to 3 lines, and instantly you will understand, because there will be a background of. Imagine you're going to read a poetry about a room. So there will be an empty room, and there will be a flash near a window. Okay, so that flash has some context with the window. See, the whole concept of electronic literature comes with the better understanding of the text, the context, and the medium. So everything is intertwined. Okay, so all this theory that I'm discussing today is interdisciplinary framework. Okay, so they come with a perfect framework, and this is all designed to present situation, because today's culture, it can be a society, they give you a new perspective. Okay, as I said earlier. And next comes interactive fiction. Interactive fiction, where there will be 2 options. Imagine there's a protagonist and he's waking up and he needs to have a breakfast. And then he gives you 2 options, whether he could eat upma or some South Indian foods like, idli, dosa, and so on. So you need to click which you want the protagonist to have. So if you're going to click idli, that person will eat idli. Okay, so if you're going to click upma, that person will eat upma. So this is how the whole novel goes. It goes how you decide the protagonist to act. So that is what the interactive fiction is all about. Locative narratives is all about the place, the situation, the movement. It is basically deals with place of unity, place of action, Aristotle's. Okay, so that is the locative narrative. And blog fiction is something, people, they create a blog and they write something, article, and which end up that as a short story and so on. So basically, that is what the electronic literature is. So to conclude, there's a difference between e-literature and e-book. E-literature is that can be exclusively viewed only in this technology-oriented devices. Okay. And then cultural studies. So cultural studies is one such huge, it's a huge study. Okay, so everything comes under a cultural study. See, the way you walk, the way you sleep, the way you eat, the way you communicate, the way you read book. Imagine that you're getting into the bookshop and you're picking one. Even that art comes under cultural studies. Okay, so my research is also on cultural studies, and I'm not going to give you. I'm not going to have. I'm going to give a deep lecture on cultural studies. I have only taken few concepts like multiculturalism, aculturalism, cultural identity, or cultural space. First, we shall talk about aculturation. So, what's up with a culture or a culture? See, this is where a minor group of people or minor communities or a group of people who follow different culture than the mainstream people. So, for example, let's take India. Let's not point out any other any religion or community and so on. So we will keep it very blunt. Okay. So there is one mainstream religion or community, and there is minor group. And when they are in such place, okay. So imagine there are 2 to 3 families who are staying in a group of mainstream people where they follow different culture. So, at times, they tend to follow the culture of mainstream community. Community means I'm talking about a group of people, okay, not anything that comes under that term. It is a group of people, okay. So imagine there is a people who have never heard of Italy, and they have some work, and they have settled there very recently, and they happen to have Italy, and instantly they fall in love with Italy, and they wanted to try, because that is how a culture develops. Okay, culture is not something that is inherited; it has been always there. Culture is also something that is arbitrary, that keeps changing. Like 20 or 10 years back, there is nothing called mall, MALL, mall. But today we have mall culture. So whenever there is a weekend, we stopped going to temple or something that we used to go 10 years back. Whenever we have a holiday or a vacation or some like a period of time where you take off, we tend to spend our off in mall. Okay, so there's nothing to visit in mall. It is basically a shopping complex, but it has become a culture, right? Culture is something that we people create. Like as I said earlier, society, it never fails to give you a new perspective on how you see life. That is what cultural studies. Cultural studies is anything and everything that is happening around you. See, you could talk. See, like when I saw that person last time, he wasn't like that. Today he's acting weird and so on. That was also culture. Okay, so when you met last time, he wasn't in a place where, like before. Imagine he moves to a new workplace, and that demands a certain culture that has to be followed, and that person make that as a habit, and that redefined his character, and you people be wondering what happened to him. Are he mad, or he got hit somewhere? No, it is everything is culture. It is what he sees and what he incorporates and how he defines himself as cultural studies. Multiculturalism is basically like where you follow one or like two to three cultures. Like we have like immigrants like we call them as like, for example, let's take writers like Nadia or Khalid Husseini. They are called as African American. So we can take Khalid Husseini. Okay, so his family moved to US even before he could realize, or even before he realized that he was born in Afghanistan. Due to this Taliban rule, they migrated or they moved to America. But we call him as African American. Though he have never been to Afghanistan, why do we call him as African American? And he obviously follows a certain things, a certain culture that his parents were practicing back then in Afghanistan in his place. Though he never been to Afghanistan, but he does, follow something that his parents used to do in Afghanistan. Okay, so that is multiculturalism and so. Yeah. So there is an author, like I have talked about Indian Jewish writer named Esther David, and this person talks about Jewish life in India. Okay, so Judaism or Jews is once its minor community in India. Okay, so all her work deals with Jewish life. So I want to talk about that, but yeah. And then diasporic literature. See, as I said earlier, diasporic literature is something that has always been there, because we have been talking about diasporic for like many years, and there have been many research that has been done in diasporic, and you can call it as an exhausted area. But are we still have we done all full-fledged research on diasporic? See, we still have this sense like if diasporic is happening everywhere. Like, right now, what is happening in Afghanistan, Syria. Okay, so every now and then, you give a new perspective on diasporic too. Likewise, few years back, we combine Holocaust with the diasporic. Okay, so now we entirely reduced to diasporic alone. Diasporic is being a solo subject. Before it used to be like usually it deals with Judaism again. Okay, but now they have a separate country, and we no longer talk about the Jewish, but we still talk about diasporic studies. Because the concept of diasporic even changes time to time. As I said earlier, everything is perennial, everything is arbitrary, everything tends to change. Nothing is as such that it used to be. Okay, see, I can talk about anything today, and when I wake up tomorrow morning, the same concept can change. So that is because we are in a society, the culture that we follow, that tend to change, and that helps us to change. It can be in any way, but we are already there in a runway. We keep changing. It happens unconsciously. Okay, so what's up? Okay, so I have underlined a favorite line from this book, but it's okay. We shall continue with the topic, why contemporary literature. So see, anyone can talk about ancient or old literature, middle literature. Why should you concentrate on contemporary literature when there are many areas that has been unexplored? See, contemporary literature will help you understand the present. Okay. See, I accept anything now. See, anything like that used to be a taboo 10 years back. No longer that is a taboo. That is only because of the literature that is very much contemporary, and that is basically freshly baked. Okay, so you read something and you understand what is there in the literature, and when you associate that with the real life, you understand exactly what is happening there. Okay, so that is why contemporary literature is, of course, it is relatable. I'm not going to say that is relatable because obviously it is. but you tend to relate it. You can easily relate it with the life experience. Okay. See, contemporary literature, we usually talk about something that has been happening after the Second World War, like post Second World War. But anything and everything. So if you're going to talk about post Second World War, which actually starts with Holocaust, but anything is contemporary. Okay, contemporary literature and the start day of this label, the horrors of the war. See, we no longer talk about Holocaust. See, but we do talk about wars, because we all know what happened very recently in Afghanistan and what is happening around the world. Okay. And corruption are the pathways of this type of literature. It is from this real life theme that we find the beginning of period of writing. See, sometimes, we wanted to voice out, and we always wanted to do something that that irritates us, or something that puts us down, that upsets us. So whenever you are helpless, so such time, you could use that as an opportunity to write. So we all know pen is mightier than. Yeah. So that is why writing is very important. So, and last point, contemporary literature helps the reader to develop a rational thinking. That is there. Okay. So, I was very upset with today's generation when lockdown happened. People were wasting their time online, and then I later realized that also helped them to grow. So there is always a positive in something and negative in something, but I'm happy that everyone is, using their, the time in a very positive way. Okay, so positive is no longer a positive word. Very good. Okay, and yeah, so these are a few things that I want to talk about: how to read a book and how to choose a book, and so on. So that is what my title is all about. So coming back to the title, theories to relate the kaleidoscopic reflection of life. See, as I said earlier, we talked about fact statements, right? So anything that you study in theories, that ends up being a life experience or reflection of life. Anything you study, see, you wanted to enjoy biryani, and you need to know where this biryani originated, and that is also a study. So everything you do, it ends up being a theory, and at the end of the day, it is again a study. It is again a theory. So that is what my title is all about. So that is what my topic is all about. So that is where I conclude my speech. So is there anyone who have any doubt regarding my discussion, or anything that you wanted to ask, or anything?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Really, Krishna Priya, ma'am, you did really well, marvelously well. I must register my sincere thanks to you, as well as my gratitude to Prema ma'am, Dr. Prema ma'am.
So thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity. I was looking forward to it. Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. It really it's amazing. And dear participant, the floor is hearty congratulations, ma'am. Dear participant, floor is open for discussion. Anybody who would like to share your views, otherwise add on to whatever our Krishna Priya madam has presented, you are most welcome. Over to you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam, for nice presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Krishna Priya ma'am, it was a wonderful sharing with so many dimensions added and put together, so that kaleidoscopic effect could be understood.
Thank you, ma'am.
In your deliberation. And moreover, today's highlight was that the first session was absolutely technical. And Harish sir and Shiva both were very much in sync with the subject matter. And Akhtarwana ma'am gave her own real-time experiences. So that was a great session in one perspective. And this one happens to be a very big relief, that, when there are two things of different types, then it's very easy to digest both. So this is what today's highlight was, because I was able to enjoy both the sessions thoroughly. So you're putting in so many colors to the forum today was a great participation and a great contribution. Thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your kind word. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Ma'am, in the chat box feeds good presentation, madam, and then that is what the comment made by Dr. Harish in the chair, and the excellent presentation, madam, by Aid sir, and again Sasireka madam has said excellent present, madam. So presentation. So
Thank you so much for all those kind comments. Thank you so much, sir. And thank you, everyone.
anybody would like to say anything, you are most welcome, and add on to whatever our Krishna Priya madam has presented. In the meantime, I will check for this feedback link. Kindly, wait for a few minutes.
Oh, okay, sir.
Yes, ma'am. So this is Shashreka. I want to ask about that. So you said, ma'am, electronic literature. So what is the exact website is there, ma'am? It's available.
Yes, ma'am. We do have exclusive website for all this e-literature concept. I shall find the link and post in the chat box. Give me a second. Like where you have all poetry, fiction, exclusively one sec. I am able to find it.
Thank you, ma'am. Very informative session, ma'am, today. So it is very useful to all the faculties also. Thank you, ma'am.
Krishna Priya, your presentation is so good, pa.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you
And
for listening to my presentation, ma'am.
yeah, it's my pleasure. And you have said some of the theories like fat theories and that and all. That is very new for me. So that is a very interesting session for us. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So I have shared the link in the chat box. So that website has collection of e-literature where you could visit the website, and there will be many tiny boxes. If you click one, that will end up being a poet or any piece of literature. So I really hope you visit the website and have a future like insight about what is e-literature. So if you guys don't have any other doubt, thank you for your attention. I'm so grateful to have such a wonderful audience. Thank you so much and have a great night. Thank you.
Just to know, before I'm getting this feedback link, anybody would like to say anything, you are most welcome. And kindly wait for a few more minutes. We will get this feedback.
Shravan sir?
another couple of minutes, this flyer will be ready and we will be posting. Kindly, sorry, this feedback link will be ready. Kindly wait. Yeah. Dear participants, thank you everyone, and the feedback link has been posted. Kindly make use of it and acknowledge the same. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the colleagues.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
August present as well as welcome, sir. August present as well as your wonderful involvement.
Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you.
During this deliberation. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank Professor Sundar sir for his wonderful presentation as well as our second presenter of the day. Hello, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I would like to compliment you on making this change of time.
Oh, really?
So you have been planning it for quite some time, and today it has been implemented very well.
Do you like it or not?
Yes, very much.
Just now I pushed it to 7 to 8 and 8 to 9, ma'am, so that people will.
And 9 o'clock we should actually wind up.
Sure, ma'am. That is what, ma'am. We will get the flyer. This feedback also at the earliest, and I will post it, ma'am, on time. Here up. We will post it maximum 9:50, 9:30. We will set up. Yes. We'll have. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, sir.
Wonderful input. Thank you. The credit goes to Professor Venkateshwara sir only, ma'am. He only is helping us technically, and again all learners and take this opportunity.
He's really working hard for us behind the screen.
Yeah. Really, ma'am.
Thank you so much for the compliment. Right, and
thank you, everyone, and again, really, thank you, sir, for all your support and help.
Thank you.
Sir.
Good evening, ma'am. How are you, ma'am?
Very good evening. And really, you are doing a great job behind the scene.
After a long compulsion, he has joined, ma'am, after so many days.
Yes, sir.
So.
He has been very busy there in this college, ma'am. He has dedicated and completely dedicated himself to the institution, ma'am. That is the reason why he's not so tough. He promised that he will be regular hereafter. We'll see.
Yes, certainly, Saranan. There was some issues that were going on, and we had to attend to that. And we're busy with that. I'll certainly be there. Sir, Harish, good evening, sir.
Yes, I'm here only, sir.
Sir, can I have a word with you, sir? I just rang up now, but I couldn't.
Yes. Like I was about to call, but since you are here, I didn't call.
Yes, sir. I just want to talk to you about an event that's going to be conducted on 26th for the young students, like school and higher secondary and other students. And even the first day will join. Can you just give a talk on the research aptitude for the young minds, something like that?
Okay. So
26th Saturday, between 6 to 7, sir.
Okay, fine. So what are all get into research and stuff like that?
Yes, sir.